I'm turning oil lamps into electric lamps. Coming up after this. I don't know if this is legal. I don't know if you have to be an electrician or anything to do this. I think I have to remove those little things because they're just too bright and they show up too much, even more than any of the other toys. They're distracting. Oh yeah, I'm going to hide them. Anyway, we don't want to see them. So I don't know if you're allowed to mess around with wires and stuff, but I'm going to show you what I do. Maybe you better talk to your electrician before you make any of these things. So I did a test run, and I took all of the parts that I had. Luckily, I had one of these light bulbs myself, but I did have to order some more of them. They do have them at the dollar store, I think. But I did buy them, I ordered them from Amazon because there was a good deal and I could get lots of them. I mean, I got too many of them. I think I got 20 of them for $20. So $1 a light bulb. But I'll put them into everything and they're decorative. The one problem though is that it's way too bright. So I'm also going to make a dimmer. And I've made lamps with dimmers before, like over here. These are all on a dimmer, but I constructed it different. We're going to use more conduit stuff. But unfortunately, I don't have a plate like this one. I really love that whole galvanized steel look. Unfortunately, I only have a white cover. So I'm going to have to do a combination like this. I also like to use the Bakelite brown, especially to match with the brown cables that I have found and am using for the lamps. I talked about that in my last video. I better turn this light off because it's just too bright. So I want to put it on a dimmer. It'll be nice that I can put it up really high if I need to. But I am going to have to use this. I could always replace the plate afterwards, and I could even replace the switch later, but I guess I don't really have to. This is going to be hidden in the bookshelf behind the curtain where I keep the lanterns hanging. So you can see right there where they hang on the different hooks. And I have my extension cords, and what I do with the extension cords, I cut off the end of this, and I put it in the thing. And then I've been loving seeing those. I guess they don't look so good on camera, but me seeing those cables hanging on that hook all week makes me really love them. They really spark joy. I love the color. Again, it's Bakelite, old-fashioned, electrical, turn of the century electrical. Whenever electricity was implemented, cables would have been, cables probably would have been covered in cloth. Okay, so I'm going to start with a lantern of my dust cloth because they did get a little dusty. But that reminds me, I got my vacuum cleaner attachments too. So excited about this one right here. So I can dust everything and vacuum at the same time. This is going to be amazing. I'm just going to plug this into my vacuum cleaner and dust with it. I also got a new nozzle. It came as a set. This is useless to me. It's a holding device. But this one is going to be probably good to use too for dusting. Bristles are harder here, but I don't know, for the floor, and it's so good. I'm so excited. I've been really taking pride in my vacuuming, and I think if I vacuum more than I have in the past, I won't have as many spider issues as I do at the beginning of every spring. Okay, let me show you what I do. So I had to order these things on Amazon too, and they actually say that they're Bakelite, which is really awesome because I love Bakelite and how old-fashioned and like the first plastic. So it's almost not plastic because it was the first plastic. One of them came cracked though, but the whole wabi-sabi thing and be environmental, I don't know. Maybe I will write to Amazon and ask them if they're just going to replace one. If that is something that they would do, because one came cracked, which really is not cool. And in the reviews, people said that they showed even pictures of one coming broken. But I got one broken one. I only need 5, and they came in a set of 6, though. I don't know. Maybe I'll write the company. Maybe it's still usable, but it's still broken. So always struggling between environmental and not environmental. I didn't know how I was going to fit them inside, but I did figure out I was having such a problem. I thought I had to use a really small light bulb, but it turns out that I can use these ones. I tried even bigger ones. They could fit. I didn't have to put on this extra cable protection. This thing stops the cable from pulling out. And I really do want to use that because I want it to be safe, of course. So we're going to make it safe. I'm going to show you how to make the dimmer, but I don't know. I'm not showing you how to make the dimmer. I'm showing you how I'm making the dimmer. Again, I don't even know if this is legal. I don't know if you have to be an electrician to do this stuff. I don't know, depending on what country you're in. Hopefully I have a pair of scissors here so I don't have to get up again. I do. I love these scissors that I got from the dollar store. Super old-fashioned. My sweatshirts don't look so nice hanging on the door there. Okay, and I'm also going to cut off all of these things because they don't look nice either. I don't know if that's illegal. I think it might be like that mattress thing where you have to keep your mattress tags on. And then I'm going to cut this off. Just like that. And then I'm going to snip this down. I'm going to give myself a nice big piece of wire. And I'm only going to score the plastic. And twist and twist and twist. I got myself a nice wire end there. And then I'm going to do the same here. Oh, I probably should have strung this first. And twist. And then I take the lantern and I stick this through. I want this to be the front part because it has all the details on it. And then I'm going to put this down inside. And I guess I probably shouldn't have stripped it first. I'm going to open up this and take the glass out. And this edge is sharp here, so I do have to be careful because it is sharp metal around where I'm putting this in. I'm going to be careful with it. I could reinforce this with something, would probably be a good idea, so it doesn't cut through the cord eventually. So then I take this piece, the screwy part, and then you put this side up. The little pinching ends. Give myself more slack. Lots of slack. I actually said when I bought these on Amazon that they were Edison style Bakelite. And somebody in the review said that they weren't Bakelite, but I didn't care if they were plastic or real Bakelite. But when they showed up, it says real Bakelite and they feel like real Bakelite. And I have that ready, and then I'll put this in, and I'm going to screw this into that part right now, because I can still wiggle this cable depending on how much length I need. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to screw it into the socket part. Probably red ones. On the proper way to do this, you want to twist it around the direction that you're going to tighten it in, I think is the right protocol. Again, you can't quote me on this stuff. I'm going to do that and bend it around that way because I am tightening it this way. And I'm going to hold on to the wire really tight so that it is tight when I do it. And then I'm going to do the other side. You don't want these to come loose. Wrap that around there and tighten. You want to change the screwdriver head. There we go. Like if it was more contained. Nonetheless, it's safe in there like that. It is nice and tight. And then I just pull this as much as I need to. Let this nestle down in here nicely. Now that that's tight, I can bring this down over all these prongs. And those are going to squeeze in and tighten around the cable. There we go. And then you put the cover on. And I have a neat little package here. I have my brown cable. Oh yeah, and Bakelite is brown. And my cable ended up being brown. In a previous video, I did talk about how I was kind of upset. And I was really looking for black ones. And I was holding up for black cables. but this dark brown Bakelite with the black, I think, is turning out to be extra, extra classy. Now I'm going to take out one of these light bulbs. I love light bulbs. And this looks incredibly antique-y, old-fashioned to me. I think since I have 20 of them, maybe I'll keep the extra ones in a jar or something. Light bulbs are everything that I love. They're like a mason jar, right? Because they got the chrome and they got the jar and they're just crafted glass. So antique. I am so not into LED lights and halogen lights. I mean, they're everywhere. I do use them to lighten my set. They do make videos look better. Just enough room when I pull this through and keep it at the top. It fits so nicely, so it's a great light bulb. And I don't know if the wattage on these is different from the one that I had. It's a smaller light bulb, I think, than this one. It's more old-fashioned shaped, which is really cool. Yeah, these are nice light bulbs. Okay, so the trick that I learned to get this in, because I didn't know how, I struggled forever figuring out how I was going to get the light bulb. I thought I was going to have to put the glass on first and then squeeze my fingers in between. But no. The trick is to put the light bulb in and then put the jar in. And then I'm going to squeeze it in this way. I have to squeeze it in through the back. It's the only way to do it. And I keep forgetting how to do it, actually. Lift this up. Squeeze this over here. Anyway, I don't know if that's the way that I did it, but that worked. So let me figure out how I did that again. To get it out, you have to lift up on this and squeeze out through here. Okay, I guess that's it. Lift up on this, make sure that the light bulb is inside the glass, and then squeeze this through both pieces. Be careful as you squeeze it over the top. It's hard to change the light bulbs, but I shouldn't have to change them very often. I think I will be using these lights a lot, but I'm going to keep them really dim, and I think that that prolongs the life of the light bulb. I know that my Edison ones, there last forever. Anyway, it's a puzzle to get the light bulb in, and when I get it in, and let's check how bright this is. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I don't even need a dimmer. You know what, I still need a dimmer though, because it'll still be, it looks really bright to you, but it's really quite a nice low light. Oh, I like it so much more than this one. It's 11 watts. I don't know how many watts this one was. Light bulbs on screen never look the same, but you definitely can see that this one is way brighter. Oh gee, maybe I don't even have to make the dimmer. I still have to make the dimmer, because when I do it on camera, I want to keep it really low, because those look really bright, and they're actually very, very dim. But oh, I am so happy with this. This is really nice. Okay, so those light bulbs are super antique-y. This is so cool. So cool, and I don't have to worry about batteries or anything. Okay, so to make the dimmer, I'm going to screw that into here. I want to put that on the left side. In my house, the electrician put all of the sockets in like this. I'm thinking one day I'll go around and change them. Some people thought that they're supposed to go like that maybe back in the day, but no. It really affects, many cables are designed so they don't operate well that way. So it does cause me a lot of problems. I do want to get one of these brown cables, which these ones that I already had, I'm going to use as the extension cords, because I will need extensions, but I am going to cut one of them. I also need to have clamp connectors, they call them, and you can tighten it around the cable so it doesn't get pulled. So that is what these are for, and they screw into the hole. And I don't have one to fit the middle one, which I would definitely prefer. But since it's going to be coming in, and it's going to attach to this first, I think we bust these out like this. Oh yeah, it worked. And bend it back and forth until it snaps. Yeah, it's really cool. If you have a kid, I don't know, maybe they can cut themselves on it, but it's a cool like little coin. I know that I would get excited over that as a kid. A fake coin. Unscrew that thing. Screw this into here. And screw this in back here. Just something to tighten around the cable that you put in so it doesn't accidentally get pulled out and rip from the sockets. And then I'll just tighten that, I should, with a pair of pliers. It tightens itself when you twist. Tighten it like this, and I know that when I twist it'll have enough leadway to make it straight, yeah. There's always a film on this stuff. Oh, I have a cloth I can wipe it down with. My hands are feeling filmy. And I'm going to bring in the wire, cut this off, string that through here. A ground thing you usually will attach to the wall, but since there is no ground to attach it to, I'm going to ground these two things together. I don't know if that's right. It doesn't really have to be grounded. Don't quote me on that. This is the ground on the socket in green, and this cable is green, so I'm just going to screw those things together. Just to get this wire out of the way anyway is why I'm doing this, because a loose wire in your electronics or your electricity would not be cool, because it can touch two different things at the same time. You want to make sure that everything is taken care of. So I think one wire is going to go around one of these sockets. And I don't think it matters which one. I don't think. I'm messing with electricity here. I'm just being logical instead of directional. Okay, so I put one side in there, and then I take one side of this cable, and I strip this, and then you take the other part from the other wire on the dimmer, and you attach that to the extension cable. And I twist it to the right around each other, and I use the cap, twist over it, isolate it, and you would cover that in electrical tape if you were really, really good. On the other side, I put the end coming from the extension cable. And then I'm going to make sure that this is in. I'm not going to screw it in all the way, but I am going to make sure that no wires are loose or touching anything. And I'm going to plug this in, and I'm going to plug this in, and now my dimmer works. Now I'm going to screw this all together nice and safely and secure. Unplug. Tighten the socket in, tighten the dimmer in, and then remember to tighten the cable in too, because if I trip over this cable, I don't want it pulling out of the sockets. So it's just like this big rudimentary extension cord. I think we've all put on face plates before. This is still metal, it's nice. These pop off. Covered it like this. I've got a little lip around here that's kind of sharp, but still it's okay. I'm just lucky I had this, and I'll probably swap it out, even though it looks really nice. And like I said, this box is going to be hidden. I could mount it to the shelf, though. I guess there's nothing wrong with this, since everything is white. White button, white sockets, white switch. And that is my little extension cord dimmer that is only going to be used for the lights. So let's give it another try. Good, there it is. Pretty nice. I actually really like the white. I probably won't change that. A little dimmer control. Don't do it yourself. Hire an electrician. Don't do it yourself. Hire an electrician. Okay, I'm going to make the rest of the lights, and I'll show you what it all looks like once it's all set up. Okay, there they are. They seem pretty dim, but I don't really need a dimmer for them. because they are quite light, but I guess I am glad that I have it, because I'll always have the option to turn them right down, make it real romantic. It's surprising that it's not as bright, but that's not what those lights are about. They're not. If I need it bright, I put on those lights. Sweet. I am so happy. No more batteries or anything worrying about that. So, yeah. The dimmer function I have kept right here on the shelf. And so I really should have done this before the lights, actually. But the next step is to start organizing all of the stuff that I have on the shelves, and hopefully I can throw out or get rid of or dispose of properly those things. All right, I love you. I got a big mess to clean up now.